In the YouTube community, having Rina mess up is considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated supporters who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as a You Got Me Messed Up unit. These are their stories.
Honestly, y'all, I almost went full Karen when he told me $938. I was about to say, excuse me, sir. May I speak to your manager? Because you're treating me in a way that I feel attacked. $938? I feel attacked. Something's wrong. You're doing something wrong. Let me speak to your manager. Hey peeps, it's Rina and welcome to my anxiety-filled life. Today we'll be continuing to part 3 of the NACA Homeowner series. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2 and you're new to my channel, it'll be linked above and below. So, let's get to it. Alright, so boom. A week before the Achieve the Dream event or ATD event, I was uploading all of my documents to my web file. As many of you probably already know, if you don't use Internet Explorer, it can be very glitchy and very frustrating. So that was my experience. Excuse me? You'll probably have issues with uploading your documents, saving your documents, and then going to the end and it's telling you that you're not done, even though you know you've done everything that you could do. Don't worry about it. It's just how the web file works. Don't worry about it. I always want you to just quadruple check your web file to make sure that you have all of your documents. Anywho, one of the biggest parts of getting qualified for the ATD event is your LOEs. So the LOEs, or letters of explanation, I already explained this in my last video, so I'm not going to go through it again. But basically, the number of LOEs you need differs from person to person. So for me, I think I needed only about 12, maybe 10 or 12, for many reasons. If you have everything perfect, you're probably going to have to do less LOEs, probably 5 or something like that. But if you have a lot of discrepancies and all that type of stuff, you probably have to do more. Anywho. At the time, I did not know what the hell an LOE was in the first place. The only reason I found out about it is through Facebook. So I was going through the Facebook group that I'm in, trying to figure out what LOEs I need, what type of LOEs are out there. So I started inboxing people. I started to go to people in the comments. I started to go in the search bar and see what LOEs already were posted in the group. So I was like, all right, I have a lot of work to do. Cool. So here's where it kind of went left for me. So basically, I signed up for Sunday, May 17th, right? But days before the event, specifically May 14th, I got an email saying, hey, your ATD event is tomorrow, May 15th. And I'm like, So after I had my little panic attack and breakdown, I realized I need to calm down and pull an all-nighter to finish every single LOE, every single document that I needed in my web file. That was not fun. I would say that I probably went to sleep at 2 a.m. that night, and I still had to work the next day at 7:30. Yeah, I was just in it to just be like, I'm gonna do it regardless. And also, the reason why I chose Sunday is because I still had work off. I think the options were Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I specifically didn't choose Thursday or Friday because I knew I was going to be working. So I was like, how the hell am I supposed to do this? So the next day, I go to the Facebook group to see if anyone else was experiencing this. And it turns out that it was a glitch. A freaking glitch. So I stayed up until 2 a.m. putting every single document that I needed in my web file just to be told, oh, it's a glitch. Oops. My bad. you're actually scheduled for Sunday, the day that you actually signed up for. And I was like, ah, okay. So I pulled an all-nighter for nothing. That's what you're basically telling me. Okay, cool. It's fine. It's fine, NACA. I don't have work tomorrow or anything, you know. I don't have a life. So even though I'm mad because I lost sleep on Wednesday and I had work the next day, I was really happy because I was overly prepared. And knowing that I had a buffer like a few days before my actual event on Sunday, that kind of put me in a nicer mood. So the night before the event, I kept checking the NACA website to check my queue. I was in the 900s, like the high 900s. So I figured I probably wouldn't be seen until the end of the night. But the way my brain works, when there's ever an important event, I cannot sleep the night before. So I was up all night checking my queue number like it was gonna change. It was still the same number. And I basically kept checking my web file to make sure that everything was there. And eventually, I just tried to force myself to go to sleep. I probably went to sleep around I'm gonna say 3 o'clock. I even checked all my devices, like my laptop, my cell phone, my backup cell phone, my backup battery, just in case I need to leave the house and I need to bring my stuff with me. So I just really couldn't sleep. The morning of, so ATD day, I woke up very early. So mind you, I went to sleep at 3 a.m. and I woke up, I think around 7:30 a.m. And I'm in the group checking, and people are saying, just if today's your day, don't check in the group. It's just gonna give you a lot of anxiety. And I'm like, me, an anxiety-filled person, yes, this person is right. I should not be in the group. So I stayed out of Facebook. I decided to do some chores to pass the time while also keeping my phone nearby, just in case I had the email, the text, or the call to let you know, hey, it's almost time for you to jump on to your computer so you can do your video call. So every 30 minutes, I kept checking my phone and checking the queue number on the NACA website just to see what my number was, because it's going to change. It's a queue. So every 30 minutes, I kept checking the queue on the NACA website to see where my number was. It was moving about, I would say, 75 to 100 people per hour. It was much faster in the morning, and I felt like it was slowing down at the end of the day. So I figured I'm gonna do a little math. I'll probably be seeing around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. around that time. And even though I told myself I was not gonna check the Facebook group, what did I do? I went on my phone to check the Facebook group to see other people saying, oh, I got qualified. Oh, I didn't get qualified. Oh, I had conditions, all this type of stuff. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Do I like punishment? Do I hate myself? Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. But I started to get frustrated and nervous, so I decided to back away from my phone again and give myself some time. So as 5, 6 was coming around, I was still in, I think it was the 200s. It was low 200s or high 100s. It was around that time. So I was like, oh. Then I realized I didn't go food shopping. So we usually go food shopping every 2 weeks. And I was like, we need food to eat. So I was like, babe, should we go food shopping or should we wait until I get my call? He was like, it's up to you. So I'm literally sitting, pondering, thinking what's the good option. So he was like, why don't you just take your laptop and your phone and your charger with you, and if they call you, you're good to go. And I'm like, you right, you smart, you important. I'm stupid. No, that's not what happened. But no, legit, I took everything with me in my backpack, everything, even headphones, just in case we were in a noisy area, and we went to ShopRite. So for some reason that day, mind you, this is still quarantine time, so everyone had to wear masks, and those were really long lines, 6 feet apart, so you could just get inside the building. So surprisingly, there was no line. We were able to get a shopping cart, and we were able to go in really fast. Literally, I've never shopped that fast in my entire life.
And he starts to fill it with our most expensive cuts of beef. There's Rodney, and this is called shopping backwards.
We literally went through the aisles, picked and throw things in the bag, and I kept checking my queue every 15 minutes to see what my number is. So it was getting lower and lower, and once we were at probably under 100, I think it was 75 when I started to panic, because I was like, what if they're about to call me soon? So we were like, all right, we're done shopping, let's go on the line. The line moved really fast. We got to the register, And I was like, I feel like they're about to call me soon. So we got in the car, packed in the groceries. We're on our way home. We're only like 10 minutes from the grocery store. So like, it wasn't a far drive anyways. 5-10 minutes. So as we find a parking spot, which was perfect, it was right in front of our apartment, which almost never happens when we go food shopping. We usually park up and then we'll put the food inside and then he'll go find parking. But we found parking perfectly right in front of the apartment, so it was nice. By that time, I was number 50 or something like that. So I was like, all right, we gotta move this stuff real fast, move it fast. So we moved it real fast. We were able to put all the groceries away in time. And then probably like 10 minutes later after we were done, I got the email, hey, we're about to connect you soon, be close to your computer. So I ran to my computer real quick, got everything set up with the charger, took everything out of my backpack, had the printer next to me. I was not playing, like I was ready. And even though they say like they'll call you within an hour or something, or no, they'll send you they'll send you like a GoToMeeting link. So that didn't take long. Like I thought it was gonna take like 30 minutes to an hour or something like that. I got the links really quick. And then he called me up and was like, hey, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do this. So the MC that I had was very awesome. He was from DC. He didn't want a video chat, but I'm sorry. He didn't want to have his video on during the chat, but he was okay with me having my video on, so I was fine with that as long as I can hear his voice. He was amazing. I was very impressed with how organized my file was, down to like my LOEs. I had everything prepared. He would be like, oh, do you have? And I said, oh, I got you. It's right here. Oh, do you have? Oh, you looking for that? I got you. It's right there. So like, it was perfect. This made me very happy because like I put a lot of time and effort and I lost sleep over it. So I was happy that my file was looking good. But here's where the MC had me messed up. And I mean like he really had me messed up. So the reason that they pull your credit report, and remember, your credit score is not considered. The reason they do this is because they want to see all the collections you have, all the debts you have on your account, any closed accounts, any open accounts, all of that. So the formula that they use to calculate your highest mortgage payment is by taking your monthly gross income, then multiplying it by 40%, then they subtract all of your monthly active debts. So student loans, car loans, personal loans, credit card debt, and it's subtracted. So when he did this for me, I don't know if y'all ready for this. He said that my payment was $938 per month. Now you're like, is that like bad? Hell yeah, that's bad. That's including your principal, your interest, your insurance, everything. And I'm like, taxes? What is $938 gonna give me in New York? A closet? With a mop? I don't know. But that had me messed up. I was like, pause the brakes, because there's something wrong with your calculations. Because I did the calculations for myself. I read through the NACA workbook that had this formula. So I was like, I understood how it's gonna be calculated. And in my mind, I had like, I think it was like $1,300, which is still not high, but I knew that I would have to pay off debts to bring it up. So I was like, how are you getting this number? So I told him to walk me through his calculations. And this is something that you should do while you also do your ATD event. So he walked me through it, and then I realized he was adding on debts that I had already paid off like 1 month prior, that it hadn't fallen off of my credit report yet. So he was like, basically, well, I can only go off of what I see here. And I'm like, but I paid it off already. Like, it just didn't fall off my credit report yet because it was last month. So that's where, there was like a miscommunication. So it was $938 for that time being. I was disappointed in that because you can't buy nothing in New York City, and that's a fact, with $938 per month. Nowhere. Honestly, y'all, I almost went full Karen when he told me $938. I was about to say, excuse me, sir. May I speak to your manager, because you're treating me in a way that I feel attacked. $938? I feel attacked. Something's wrong. You're doing something wrong. Let me speak to your manager. So once I had walked him through my calculations for the 3 loans that I had paid off, he said, yeah, it's about, I think it was like $1,300, like a little bit less than that, probably 12 something. So he told me in order for me to get a higher monthly payment amount, I would have to pay off, I think it was my credit card that I pay off, and I think it was another small loan that I also had to pay off. So I said, fine. They were like microloans through a firm. So I said, fine, I'll pay those off. That's no problem. I have the cash. And then he basically told me that I could either sign up for another ATD event so I could get qualified, or I can wait 3 months, pay off some debt, get everything back up, and then, meet with my counselor. So I was like, all right, cool. Another part that had me messed up was that the system that they use to save all of your numbers and then give you your numbers for your action plan was not working for him. So I kind of got the short straw of that. So my action plan being empty kind of made me want to put the pause on him virtually.
When I see you square up, okay.
But he was a really nice man, so I decided to tone it down. I wasn't rude at all, I promise. But it was just disappointing because my action plan was basically blank. The only 2 documents that I was missing was my IRS transcript, and I was missing my rental verification. So they usually send out a form to your landlord verifying that you paid up to, I think, 12 months to 24 months of on-time payments and stuff like that. Or you can get 12 months of receipts that's showing that you paid your rent for 12 months. So you can do either or. I didn't have this prepared, so that was something else that was missing. But all of my my MRF, my minimum required funds, was blank, so I didn't know how much I needed to actually get qualified, as well as I didn't know what my actual monthly payment would be. So everything was blank. I was not happy with that. So that was the point where I decided to sign up for another ATD event, which I will talk about in my next video. Also, something else that was missing on my action plan was the date of my appointment with my counselor. So I didn't know who my counselor was. I didn't know what date I was going to meet them. So that was missing. Apparently this is not normal. There's supposed to be a date and who your MC is. And this is your local MC. So basically after my call with him on Monday, I decided to call up the NACA office. I was on the phone with them for 5 hours before I talked to an actual human. 5 whole hours. I mean, if they need a part-time customer rep, they need help, I got you. If you need some part-time work. I do work full-time, but if y'all need help, I could do something on the weekends or something to help you out. But 5 hours is crazy. I basically watched some Netflix, chilled, did some chores while I was waiting for 5 hours. But after 5 hours on a call, I was told that I was going to be emailed who my MC was. It was a lady in New Jersey. I wasn't too happy that it was her at first because I heard a lot of bad things about her, but I'm going to go into this with a positive mind and see for myself. If she sucks, then I'm going to replace her with a new MC. So that's all I have to say about my first ATD experience. I will talk about my next one in my next video. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but just stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Young, broken, independent, not broken, not quitting, I'ma get it. Even though I still struggle, I'm sufficient. Like what's up, aiming how it's business. Believe me, it's finna happen. They call them detours, we call it passion. How many no's you receive? I just stopped counting. So why you still doing this shit? I'ma cash in the fountain. See this dream dance between my ear canal, lives inside my heart like a future child. Possess the wisdom in between my smile. The world gotta see me, it may take a while. That's okay, it's prepared for. Played a lot of shows I had to pay for. Define the crowd, me, myself, and I, and the DJ and my homeboys. Good things take some time, I'm like, ooh yeah. Patience is a virtue when I'm moving. Looking at my life, it's a movie. Lot of ups and downs, I'm sticking to it. I got the sauce, I got the drip. I make the play, I get the assist. Impossible, it exists. The slow grind made a better trip.